The state of emergency here on North Carolina right now has definitely caught us off guard and completely, we were completely unprepared to be able to handle the situation. Thank you to our Federation. Thank you to our Federation for stepping in and managing this disaster swiftly and powerfully. Our recovery will take years, and our need to get organized and move with urgency, strength, focus, and determination will be successful. It is a shame that we were unable to get our act together sooner, but we are here now, and we are ready to do the work. We know that many of you are watching and wanting to help us with cash donations, goods, and labor. We needed some time to get in place to manage this effort, and we will need help in phases and over time. We are currently operating as a committee of the whole in an effort to manage this time of crisis, and we are leaning heavily on the guidance of the Federation, who has graciously stepped in to help, especially since none of us have ever done this before in the last 150 years. We welcome this experience. We welcome their guidance. We are open to learn from Anna and ready to serve and hope to be a demonstration for the rest of the 50 assemblies. And so with that, I wanted to introduce to you guys Lavelle Gathings, Rohit Bali, Anthony Hill, Antonio Russell, Daniel Deischer, Becky Rivenberg, and Tess Walsh are also coordinators on our state.
My name is Anthony Hill. We've tried to do our best to coordinate a lot of things going forward as a group and a team. Per circumstances statewide, that can be very overwhelming and overbearing, which is understandable. I myself am working with Rohi in regards to labor coordination, labor donations, and I look forward to working with anybody who's willing to help North Carolina pull together and build strong.
I am working with Dan. We have been brainstorming. We've been reaching out. We've been calling, making different plans. So you all will be hearing about that later. But I'm here to do whatever needs to be done.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Rohit Bali. I decided to step up and become a coordinator because I wanted to protect the people and the assets as well as everyone else in this group. And I have a background with disaster relief and environmental health. And so I thought it was really important to step up and help the people of Western North Carolina as much as I can and be able to get companies and labor and whatever else may be needed, geotechnical services, things like that, we need to rebuild roads and things like that, which may need help coordinating. And so therefore, that's the reason why I felt the need to step up and join the group of 8 of us to work together and do it as a team. I yield.
I think that we want everyone to know that all of the folks that are working to build their assemblies, we all want to really do a good job. And I don't know that there's anybody who sets out on this path and is actually interested in doing harm. We're not really interested in causing harm. I think that none of us arrived in this, at this place lightly or easily. We were all doing some kind of research and we were all seeking the truth, which is why we all found our way to, the American State Assemblies and Anna's work. Otherwise, we wouldn't have found our way there. So there's no, we have no desire to be, fussing and fighting with people. Literally, the mission is to protect the people and their assets, and have that, for us to be able, a lot of people think that we probably shouldn't be speaking out in front of everyone like this, but we're following Anna. Anna says, tell them, look at my skirt till they find Jesus. What we're doing is lawful. We're the good guys wanting to help the people. We're not the bad guys. We're not the enemy.
It's a time to come together. It's a time to operate in honor and out of love.
We're all here we want to work with everybody. So whether you're on North Carolina or whether you're anywhere else and you want to help us, we are here. And we, like on this link tree, we've put buttons on there so that you can reach everybody. That way, no one's looking to try to figure out who to contact or how to contact them. There's a lot of assets. That's right, Rebecca. There's a lot of assets and a lot of talent here in North Carolina. And we all want to be here and work together and work with each other and support each other. So we are interested in helping everybody. And like Rebecca is saying that she feels that none of us have asked her what she needs, which I have asked her. I have talked to her. She told me that she didn't need anything right then and that particular day because they were able to get access to some things. But all of us are not going to be calling everybody. We are all taking on a role in this, and we're all going to be helping with, listen, the PKTF is in contact with us, and they were trying to organize us. They wanted to organize the coordinators by region, but all of us felt like we were better suited to help everybody, not regionally, but actually within scopes of work. And Dan, would you like to speak to that?
Yeah, concept based. I run a job. I run a moving business. If I'd ever stand up and do what I have to do on my own, and they could do a better job than I can on my own, because I'm no better than 8 people anywhere. It's unmatched. It's the power that we need of everybody getting together. I will rightfully stand down at any time that anybody else can come fill in any shoes, and together and produce for the people more than what we can get done. So come join us, please, because together is the only way we can stand.
It took us this past week to get organized. Antonio, would you like to talk about that?
Yes, we have been in the backgrounds setting up a solid foundation where we can help every living man and living woman on our state the right way. We wasn't rushing, but we was rushing to put this together, and then all like-minded people came together to bring a solution that we do have in place, and that we will reach out to our assembly, that we will communicate with our assembly via email, and we will let everybody know what we got going on, because at the end of the day, we don't hide nothing. We don't do hidden meetings or nothing, but we're very transparent when it comes to helping everyone and letting everyone know what we've been doing. So we do have a lot of things in place. We got a lot of people in the backgrounds that's reaching out to us, and they willing to help stand the assembly. We appreciate them people for stepping up and want to do something for their state, because back in the past, it wasn't them types of things, but now we asking whatever's in your heart that you want to do for your assembly, do it. Because this is the time for us to get out of our ego and tap into the spiritual realm that we may lift this state. And this is a spiritual warfare if people don't know. And once you begin to deal in the spirit atmosphere, you begin to release. And that's what we want y'all to do. We want y'all to step up, because we the people are strong when we stand together.
There's 8, coordinators, and how many of them already can't be here today for another reason? That's the same exact reason. Everybody, we need to focus on the fact that there was an emergency in this state, and there was nobody to step up and do anything because the people that were in their positions weren't available. And we as an assembly cannot let that happen again for our fellow members. There has to be this many people. And furthermore, Novella and I aren't enough together. That's the point. Nobody's enough together. We need mass amounts of everybody getting together, and that's how we're gonna beat this affliction. I yield.
No one has ever experienced this type of work. We're not corporations, you guys. We're not corporate. And this is the thing that Anna keeps talking about. She's saying you have to care. You have to care about everybody. You have to work with everybody. We're not excluding anyone. We're not going to fight with anybody either, because you guys, we're operating currently as the committee of the whole. We're not corporate. We're not corporate. This is not a corporation. We are not actors. This is real. We're not actors. We're not politicians. We're not seeking your vote. That's not what's happening. We are powerfully standing up so that we're the only lawful government on North Carolina. And the only mission of the government is to protect the people and their assets. That doesn't mean who is status corrected. It does not mean who is visiting. It means all the life. When this happened, we were talking with Anna, and she said, the only thing we care about is all of the life, all of the living people. It doesn't matter, who they are, what their nationality is, all the life. We don't get to decide that we want to save this one and not that one. We're working for everyone. This has to be about everyone. This isn't about your clique or your group or your gang or your friends. This is for everyone. This is what it looks like when we, the people, come together. It's messy. We're not the same. None of us are equal. Equal means the same. We're not equal. But thank God we're not equal. Thank God we're not the same. What I can't do, Dan can do, or Lavelle can do, or Antonio can do, or you can do. Out there, you can do it. The people up there in the mountains that are providing the relief right now, they're just the people. Nobody's coming to save you guys or us. No one's coming to save us. We have to help each other. We have to care about each other. This is what that looks like. It does not look like some linear assignment. We're not following orders of one somebody. We're here to help everybody. Everybody needs to get in where they fit in. So you'll notice on the link tree that it says, like cash donations. You can click a button. There's a cash donation button. When we were setting this up, we were setting it up the way Anna does. We're just copying what Anna does to help everybody. Okay. Whatever she's taught us and however, so she set up a Cash App to help all the people that she's got on the ground. So we did the same thing. This Cash App is not linked to any one of our bank accounts. It's just the app itself. So it actually looks like you're sending me money because I'm the one who set it up, but somebody had to set it up. Okay. And so we've set it up. All we're interested in is protecting the people and their assets. We're not promising that we are going to have answers for everybody right away. But once you tell us what it is that you need us to coordinate with, we're going to pass it down the line, down the chain of command, and we're going to make sure everybody has the information so that you can get relief. We are not a bureaucracy. We are not a democracy. We are not. We are the people. We are simple people. We are liquid love. We love you. We are hardworking people. We want to help the people. So if we find out what's going on, you better believe someone's going to be working on trying to fix that for you. You must believe that when we find out, we're going to be doing whatever is required to make sure to provide relief somehow, answers somehow. And whatever we don't know how to answer, it's going straight up to the Federation. We aren't professionals at this. We're just professional lovers of you guys. That's all. We're just professional lovers of you guys. We just love and care about you. We just love and we care about you. Antonio, I yield to you.
Yes, I would like to add to that as well. Everybody got to realize that no one's in charge. No one's going to save you. We, the people, are in charge. I'm going to say that one more time. Nobody's in charge. No one's going to save you. We, the people, are in charge. That's a broad statement, but it's a small statement. So what I mean by that is this. You have to deal with self first, identify self first and who self is and what self-purpose is. And if you got that love within self, then it's easy to love your living sister, your living brother. If you have that ego and you're dealing with self and frustration and depression, then you have to get that out of your life before you can begin to serve. Because if you don't love yourself, how can you love your neighbor? The golden rule. So I want to let y'all know that I practice what I preach. I put myself on the line to serve the people, because that's what it's all about. It's a simple plan. It's a simple thing that we need to do. We need to comprehend what we say. We need to comprehend what we read. We need to comprehend who we are. You need to comprehend what is your calling. Everybody have gifts. Like Nethi was saying, we're not equal. The Creator made us all unique in our own way, our own special way, to bring the vibration back to the 528, to where we need to be, uplift and love. Get out of our own way. Clean your house up first before you can clean somebody else's house up. And when you begin to see that and you begin to live that, this journey will make a lot of sense for the people. And I feel like my people on North Carolina, we getting it. We went through a major storm. We went through some major changes just for this day to happen. And I thank the universe for allowing it. But at the same time, we have to learn from it and grow from it and come together collectively as one. And the Federation already got the blueprint. All we have to do is apply it. And once we begin to apply the blueprint that Anna and the Federation has set for us, all we have to do is copy and paste and make it work for the living people. It's not hard, people. And everybody that's willing to stand up for this state, we are here with open arms to accept y'all to this assembly and to grow this assembly, that we may do outreach in the time of a disaster. Like Becca was saying, this is the time to witness. This is the time to tell people who we really are and what their state is really about. So I'm here. We all here. We all took this out of our time to volunteer to do this. Some of us work 40, 60 hours a week. And some people just sacrifice. So we coming together as one, because the universe is one and we all are one. And with that, I yield.
Go ahead, Daniel.
I'd like to touch on the subject real quick. I feel like corporate mindset is what we were working with before, very obvious. And I feel like many of the assemblies just didn't move very fast because everybody's sitting and waiting for a task. They're waiting for the CEO to tell the president, to tell the manager, to tell the shift manager, to tell whoever to sweep the floor, We're not going to assign tasks. We need everybody to speak up. Open up your hands, your minds, your mouth, step forward and tell us what you have to offer. Reach out to any one of the groups. You are self-governed. You can reach out to a group that doesn't suit you best and volunteer there if it just interests you. Or if you'd like to maybe talk to Becky and find out, which group might serve you best and ask where you might be able to put your efforts. We would love to have you also, but we will not assign tasks. So please join in and give us your feedback. Thank you. I yield.
Excellent. Yeah. I see a lot of people saying things like, I want to do this. I need help with this. No one asked me for this. Also, there's a lot of, we're not going to receive any of the negative energy from before. We just want you to know that we don't want to be punished for, and we don't want to punish anyone else for anything that happened before, because we're not going backwards, you guys. Our 2 feet are facing forward. And so this is an expansive universe. It is a forward moving universe. We don't move backwards. We only move forwards. So we are not revisiting any of the, emotional traumas. We're not talking about all the PTSD and all the other whatever. Listen, all of us have been violated since birth, since our born day, not birthday. See, we don't even know how to talk because they've given us this horrible language that's not even real. We have a born day. We're not birthed in a canal, like a ship on the water jurisdiction. No, we're living men and women who have sons and daughters. We are loving people. Okay. So I see this incredible talent here. I hope all you guys, our coordinators here, are seeing this. Let me just put some of these folks up here. So KCP says, Nithya, I'm on California in the mountains. A certified suicide intervention specialist. Let me know what I can do to help. Let's make a note for, KCP, please, I encourage you to reach out. If you would kindly click on the communications contact on our link tree. We did paste it here, you guys. I'll try to paste it here again in this banner because I think maybe that'll help everybody. Let me just make a banner out of it so everybody can see that. This is what we're talking about, you guys. No one knows how to do this. We've not done this before. We've not done this before. We're not the knowers of all things. Okay? Here's the link tree, everybody.
And no one says it's going to be easy, but we don't have time for any more arguments, no more fighting, no more struggling. We just need to work together and move forward, and that's it. I yield.
We're not avoiding anything over here. What we're saying to you is nobody's going to tell you what to do. You're self-governing people. We're not going to tell you what to do. We're asking you to please, again, the mission is protect the people and their assets. Protect the people and their assets. And we do know what we're doing. We don't mean to say that we don't know what we're doing. What we're saying is we needed to create coordination. We needed a system. We didn't have a system. And now we have a system that allows everyone to work together. There wasn't a system before that allowed everyone to work together. If we had one before, we would have used it. We did not have one. And so we're putting it on blast here. We're putting it out there on blast for the whole world to see that we're here. We're working. We needed a system. We created it. We did it even with our friends losing their fathers. We did it even with all of the pushback. We did it even with all of the emotional drama. I know that you guys know because the corporatocracy loves theater. It loves theater. The corporatocracy is constantly on. That theater is running in the background competing with us, but we don't compete with it. We focus on the love. We focus on the people. Nature, the law of nature operates in an order. It operates in an order. It does not operate in competition. If in nature, if you are competitive, you're going to die. And we're not interested in that. We're interested in protecting the people and their lives, the people and their assets.
We love everybody. We look forward to working with everybody. We're here for each other.
We still have to protect the people and the assets. So we will be meeting, the disaster relief team meeting of the minds will be meeting on Mondays at 7:30, and we need all, thank everybody for their patience. We're all gonna make mistakes. Everybody's turn is coming to make mistakes. So let's just offer each other grace, grace to each other. No one here is perfect. And this is a test time for us. So as a state, we're gonna do it together, or it's not gonna be done at all. So just thankful for everyone here. We have faith that all of us here together, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this together. And we're gonna go ahead and get started with the presentation.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming here. I'd like to thank everybody that I've had the opportunity to work with. It's been great getting to know everybody. We are all truly special. It amazes me, the amount of talent that we have here every day and the amount of sacrifice that I've seen from the people day in and day out. It really is a special group, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I'd also like to share the maxim of law. It is a collection of legal maxim of law and equity. Maxim of law number 12 says, expect from others the same treatment that they receive from you. Moving forward, nobody needs to see any extra pictures. Everybody's got a pretty good idea of the destruction. This hurricane has brought an untotaled amount of devastation. We have witnessed death, destruction of homes, businesses, and in some cases, entire communities wiped off the planet. Here's an example of the I-26 bridge. Moving forward, I'd like to say we've collected here today to focus on the positive impacts we can have on the families who were affected by the devastation. Our team has had numerous responses so far. We have also received direct donations from fellow American state nationals. Thank you, everybody who did that. Multiple contacts made with existing organizations, such as the ones last listed below. Disaster relief groups, churches, businesses, etc. Only with your guys' help can North Carolina stay strong, and everybody in Western North Carolina sends their thanks. We appreciate anything and everything you can do and continue to do. Thank you again. We are working overtime to keep an updated list of communications. Our team is answering emails daily and creating files to hope to better serve the communities. I would like to extend the concept again that please, participation matters. Anybody and everybody, pack up and come along. Lavelle and I would love to see you on a meeting on Monday, and we would love to hear whatever you have to say to help aid in efforts of relief. At this time, I would like to introduce Ross Henderson. He's part of our team in Morganton, North Carolina. He's been boots on the ground. He'd like to give a little insight on the devastation in Black Mountain, Lake Lure, Chimney Rock area.
First, I'd like to acknowledge Mary Van Gorp for stepping up and doing the same thing from her point of view. What I would really like to see is organization. I referred to it this afternoon as a steering committee. We need the input of a lot of good minds. Many good minds working together is always better than one mind working alone. That's been a principle I've worked on for a long time. The need for the committee and for the assembly to come together and get organized and improve communication and work together as one team so that we can tackle this problem, because it is an immense problem. it's such a big subject. It's hard to know where to start. It's hard to know which question to ask. Where do you start?
Has anyone thought of mold remediation? That might be down the line. It might not be right now.
I have a contact that I sent to Nethi from Water Step, and they provide safe water, and they have like a water wow, which means water on wheels or something that they would bring to North Carolina, to any area that doesn't have water yet. So I sent that the contact information to Nethi, and I also sent it to Joe McDougall.
Nancy, can you resend it to me, because you did send it to me, and I know that I forwarded it to everybody. And that was a while ago, but I definitely want to put that on the newsletter.
Sure, I'll email it to you.
I'm sorry. I know that you sent me a bunch of stuff, but
I know I just sent you screenshots, but I sent Joe. I'll just forward the email I sent to Joe.
Thank you.
Ethan, on that note, I just sent you one earlier. Just today, I found on the Silverado's page, and there was a guy there that had water that could even make it up to the second floor if necessary. It was after you already put the newsletter out, but it is on your phone.
You just did it just now?
Just a couple hours ago.
Like I said, in my mind, it's going to take planning and communication to start with. I've looked at the map all afternoon trying to figure out a way to divide this up so that we can divide and conquer, so that if we had a team of several team leaders who could focus on 3 counties and get real familiar with the 3 counties, and then be able to report back to the group and advise them of their successes and their defeats. But I'm just one person, and I haven't really been in contact with people in the assembly.
Would a community capacity level filtration system for water be of some use? I mean, would that be something that communities could use versus constantly having to replace it with bottled water, et cetera?
William Perkins is an American State National who's from Mount Airy. He has been in there. He has been involved in taking loads in, and he is a member of Baptists on Mission, which is an international recovery group. And if William Perkins is on this call, I would love to have him tell us about the advantages and disadvantages of using a large organization, combining forces with someone who is or who are professionals at this, and see what the assembly thinks about. Do we proceed single-handedly, or do we join forces with a reputable group? They are a very professional organization. They have a great deal of resource.
Mr. Perkins, can we hear from you?
Yeah, first of all, I'm not Bill Perkins, the pastor up there. I'm his brother. And I know that we're doing all we can down here for him. His main concern right now is not water, food, shelter, it's clothing. So if, anybody wants to organize something around their neighborhood, put it in boxes, once anybody take it up, all I got to do is get a hold of me, because I'm going to try to take a whole truck full up, hopefully by the weekend. He's working up there with around 200-300 people that they're taking care of and feeding every day and all that. Is this meeting fully going to be on the disaster area, or are we going to have open conversations about other things?
This is disaster relief only for tonight. We're going to get moving forward. We got a lot of things to clean up, and we got to focus on these people and all these problems more than anything else, is why I was hoping our scriptures in the beginning was focused on our neighbors.
Well, I understand that, but there's a lot of issues. I think there's a lot of questions out there that need to be asked since the transformation from one assembly to another. So if you got any space at the end of the meeting, let me know and I'll chime in, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I got in touch with you about possibly looking into a mobile hospital. The Tennessee militia had reached out to us offering to supply tents, poles, generators, and other miscellaneous items. And
I thought there were three, I could only find, and there's one brick and mortar hospital that is open. I'd like to understand better, are these to be material donations to a pre-existing hospital, or is it a mobile hospital they or would like to loan us? If it is supplies, these hospitals, these mobile hospitals are supplied by things like Novant Health and, you know, big corporations. And I looked at it, I searched it on the internet, but I did not really come up with anything that I feel confident in reporting at this time.
We're in the process still, like we were saying. Lavelle, we're connected with the PKFTF, Peacekeeping Task Force. We had communications from a Georgia airdrop, asked us where to get some things. We got them turned over, and they dropped some stuff in Asheville from the communications I got, and they said, thank you very much for our assistance. They're looking forward to working with us more. With that said, we're going to have ongoing communications with these groups to continue extended relief efforts. Lavelle had spoke to a couple earlier. They were very in tune. They were talking about they know how to fix mudslides and rebuild roads and all sorts of stuff. So the calls are coming in. People are reaching out. And, you know, as soon as you give us a little bit of time, we will have this stuff put on a website somewhere where you guys can get some of this information without having to ask us for it. And please continue to correct your status education. Share it with everybody. Let everybody know who we are and what we're doing. Neethi, please.
Maybe a GoFundMe page would be a good idea.
And the reason that we haven't set up a GoFundMe, Jeanette, and the reason that we were using the Cash App under the example of Anna is because I don't know if you've ever worked with GoFundMe, but you have to have a goal, and then you have to meet the goal, and then they're going to maybe give you access, and they charge you all these fees. With the Cash App, everything that everybody donates immediately is available. I know it looks like, you know, it's coming to like, it looks like somebody has to set the account up. So I set it up, and then, so it looks like it's coming to me, but it's not connected to any bank accounts or anything. It's ready to just go right out to where we need the funds to go. So that's the only reason we set it up on the GoFundMe site.
Neethi.
We are operating as a committee of the whole, so there's no treasurer. And so we have set up the Cash App, and everything is going to be transparent and shown to everybody anytime they want to see it.
We did that last night. We all had a meeting Monday night, and we decided that was going to be our meeting to all work together, because a couple people stepped up and got up with Lavelle and I, and we're all just making it into a team. So whoever wants to be part of the team, please come on. We want you. Mondays at 7:30, we're going to focus on disaster relief until we get this thing set up and rolling. And then when this is set up and rolling, we can go back to focus on what everybody else has all the questions for, ourselves in the committee. But until these people have relief, that should be our only focus moving forward. If anybody else has anything to say, I yield. We're almost to the bottom, guys. We've almost filled the whole hour, too. We've done a pretty good job. Another thing we'll go over on Monday, we'll talk about a couple other things we didn't touch tonight. County sheriff notices. Lavelle's keeping track of which counties and which sheriffs have been notified. We will be asking for volunteers. Anybody that's willing to go drop off a notice and act as if you're a courier, simply get a receipt that says it's been dropped off. We'll put it into the network, and we're on our way.
I do want to hash out the Cash App issue where Neethi would basically control it and say everything would be open. That's fine, but we should really have somebody either auditing that, or like I suggested, somebody like who's already been voted as a treasurer to at least check, make sure everything is on the open. And there's some people that have told me that they don't trust Neethi. Not going to say who they are, but, you know, but aside from that,
I would feel more comfortable. And I think people that would donate would feel more comfortable if there was at least 2 people looking at the books. Thank you.
Okay, and I'll just say that, one, it's not just Nethi, it's all of us that have our eyes on it. And also, we don't vote because we're in the committee of the whole. That was the past. So there is no vote. It's like a family working together. So just for you, if you're afraid or whoever is afraid, it is just Nethi, it's not. That's why we're all here working together, and we can see it, and actually the assembly can see it at any time. So I just want to put that out there. It's not just her, it's all of us.
If it's directed towards anything other than disaster relief, you're probably going to want to bring it to Anna, because I've listened to Anna directly, and including earlier, I spoke to her, and back to, if it's anything other than disaster relief, she doesn't want to hear it.
Well, I
Those are her
understand
direct
that.
words. So if I'm just saying, Nethi's probably not going to have an answer for it. And if you do need to bring it to Anna, I would say by all means, please bring it straight to Anna, because none of us can answer for her. And it goes back to ignorance prevailing against Anna. And the only thing she wants to see from our committee is us standing together and worried about our neighbors in Western Carolina. And when we have that under wraps, then it'll show to her that we can act together as a group. And then maybe she'll assume that we're responsible enough to move forward. But right now, I know that's her main concern.
If you're going to have to wait for Anna to decide that you're doing good, it's going to take 2-3 years, because that's how long disaster relief is going to happen, minimum, for that town. We have global family group accounts that we can't get opened up to help the people out in the Western North Carolina. I'd like to just try to find out what's the situation with that, so we can get those funds opened up so we can help. But it's always, well, it's coming. Outside the assembly towards Anna, we've been told these things are going to happen, yet they don't. So somebody give me an answer what's going on. Needy, do you know?
I think that you guys think we have some kind of control over the global family, which this has nothing to do with. So it sounds like you have a problem with the banking situation, that we don't have any control over the banks. If we did, we would all have access to our funds or whatever, which we don't. So none of us do. And we don't have any control over that. So like Dan was saying, we are literally focused on the only job at hand, which is to protect people from the assets.
No.
Go ahead, Tess.
David, I met you in Mocksville, North Carolina. And I met your brother. And there was some discussion about the Global Family Group. And I met Rebecca also. That is all out of our control. That's the Federation. What we're trying to do here is help North Carolinians. I understand what you and your brother are outstanding men. I met the other 2 gentlemen that came. What was his name? Harry. It was just outstanding to meet y'all. But we have no control over. We are praying. We're giving high vibrations, 528 things. So I want to just say that we have no control over that. What we have to do is give good vibrations, give it out there in the world. We're helping North Carolinians, and that's all. We here on the assembly, all of us can only do what we can do, and I yield. I'm sorry if I stepped out of line. I yield. And please forgive me. I also I'm burying my father Friday. So God bless you all. Thank you. I yield. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
New Yorker.
David, I know you'd like to finish. Does it pertain to disaster relief? And if it doesn't, could you maybe email it to us so we can get to your questions as soon as possible?
I'll just email it to Anna. Maybe she'll say that, I'm saying the same thing you are, about disaster relief. And we all got funds that are being hung up for no reason that I feel. All I wanted was the simple answers. It's not like I'm, rebelling or anything, but the answer's out there. If they could free the funds, the answer's out there to help. If you don't want to do it, if you don't want to discuss it here, I understand, and I'll yield. I don't mind, and I'll go to Anna. But I thought maybe Nitty could have an answer, seeing how she's so close to Anna.
She doesn't have control. We don't have control of the funds. She's not trying to give us the funds. She's fighting for them to release the credits. It's literally, Anna is fighting for them to release the credits.
Yeah, I think, I'm sorry, may I?
No,
Oh,
I'm not. No, please, let me finish.
Okay.
All right, Nitty, come back on the screen.
I'm right here.
Well, I couldn't see it. All right, so if we have no control over it, which I understand you're saying, because the Global Family Group is redoing its structure or whatever they're doing, but Anna's the one that's coming out and saying virtual cards are here, they're coming soon, right now. And she talks about 50 ways to put the banks together. But now we're sidetracked, and we're sidetracked for a good reason, because of the disaster. But that doesn't mean that Anna still can't work her job, and I thought maybe you would have some answers because you are close to her. I'm not close to her. I read her blogs every day, what we do. You know, I'm so far behind on them. So I thought you'd have an answer. If you don't have an answer, I'll just try to email Anna and ask her if she could give me some answers. Because that money would do nothing but help.
You can email her. You should email her.
Okay, then I'll go that way. Thank you. I yield.
All right, thanks, guys. Derek, do you want to say something real quick? We need to wrap it up.
Yeah, just real quick, just kind of tailing along with, what David was mentioning. I'm out here in Iowa. I want to be back home. I need to be helping with the disaster relief. That money would be great, but I'm out here to make money so that I can put my 2 feet in a different direction, which is doing what I can. If you need anything that I can offload off your plate so that you can help with the boots on the ground or relief efforts, like I said, send it my way. Send it to the people who can relieve duties so that you can help. But as far as the money and all that stuff, she's doing what she can. I'm seeing what she can do, and for being at the level of age she's at, I think she's doing pretty good. We just need to have faith in her. She's fighting hard. I see it. She is fighting real hard. It doesn't always need to be seen, but trust me, you got to have faith in all this. You got to keep that good foot forward, and it's just going to happen. It's going to happen. Just have faith and just keep focus on the current event right now. And once we get through it, I'm pretty sure it'll happen either during or just after everything. I know it's tight, but with that, I yield.
I am joined on air with a few of the North Carolina Assembly coordinators. Anna, look, we on North Carolina wanted to thank you and the Federation for jumping in and helping us during this state of emergency. And today I wanted you to help people everywhere comprehend what it looks like when the Federation steps in, because unfortunately, no one seems to know. These people are still expecting the corporatocracy to come and save them because they haven't differentiated who the players are here. And there's a great misunderstanding about what the work of the Federation actually is and what the responsibilities even of the Assembly actually is.
Well, the mission of government at all levels is to protect the people and the assets. There is no other valid role for government to play. It's the only reason we have government, right?
Again, thank you for laying down the law of the land, Anna, and Federation. As we are all connected, I'd like to stress how important all these things are actually connected to. We would also encourage anybody that's a part of the Assembly. There's 2 things we would hope that you guys would consider doing. One is being a part of the militia. Without the militia, we can't stand. And 2 is being a juror, we did have the opportunity to notice our sheriffs, but without a jury, the sheriff has no power either. So we need to stand behind him.
Well, and it's been an urgent issue set before the assemblies for a long time that they need to get their own courts up and standing, but people have been buffaloed by this thought that it's so complex. But our law is not complex, you know?
Yeah, they just need to know that they have to be able to, if you're going to be a jury, then you should talk to the people involved in the situation because you need to know what the truth is.
Right, and it's very straightforward. English is our official language. We deal with them as a separate population, and we deal with us, the people, as people.
We've had a few choice words since the beginning of the podcast. One, you opened up with speaking on no one knowing. Anna said, you know, in her statement, in the loop, and you have said declared Americans. And I would just like to just stress the fact that 9 out of 10 people that we found that we've talked to have not sent their notices. If you don't send your notices to the state of state, you are not actually declared. And I would like to encourage everybody to protect themselves so then we could better help protect them. I yield.
Right. Well, most of us have been unaware of the lies told about us and the actions taken against us. So, you know, we're living our lives. Of course, we think we're Americans, right? What else would we be? Nobody told us that we'd been registered as British territorial citizens, right?
Right.
So, you know, if you don't know something, you can't object to it, can you? And this was all part and parcel of their intent, that they were going to sneak in the back door and redefine us, relabel us, change our political status, and subject us to their king without us even knowing it. And so, you know, the need to stand up and reclaim your status as an American and to deny their false registration is key to being able to exercise your natural and unalienable rights. It's key to being able to enforce the constitutions, the federal constitutions and their guarantees. It's the absolute bedrock of having protection from a lawless government and lawless government subcontractors.
Anna, we found and any of you guys like Becky or Antonio or Dan, if you want to let her know, we found when Dan's saying 9 out of 10 people, what he's talking about is 9 out of 10 people on our assembly currently, Anna.
They haven't actually done their declarations.
They haven't actually noticed.
And they haven't served notice.
So they might have done even a whole 928 package, but they've not actually done the notice.
Well,
There's been a lot of lack of direction for sure. I yield.
Well, you do have to serve notice on the State Department, U.S. State Department. They're supposed to get the word out to all of their departments and agencies, but you do have to serve notice on the U.S. State Department of your political status.
How does that affect their global family group account? So this is the situation, Anna. We're learning. Antonio, you go after you speak out about it. But like, I just wanted you to know, Anna, that me, Dan, Antonio, Becky, we're finding that people on our assembly currently have never noticed the state of state. They have a global family group account. They, you know, have done their package. They think that they are declared, but they've not declared to anyone. Antonio?
Well,
yeah, because go ahead.
Well,
yeah, but I was just saying, based off if not noticing the state of states, like you're not coming out of their system the way that we should. We're on the LRO on our system, but I feel like once we set our notices in play, that the Secretary of State will do their job as far as noticing their people that work under them. So that's very important for us because once we put everybody on notice, we're able to stand who we are as American state nationals, and that's who we are, the living men and women. So once us as a state, as living men and women, once we do that, it puts them on notice, and we're able to stand on what we know, and that's standing on the land. in the soil.
Right. We don't want to give them the opportunity to lie and say that they don't know what we're talking about and they didn't receive notice and blah, blah, blah. We want to have it in our hands saying, oh, yes, we did. And, you know, here we published it. Okay. And, you know, we recorded it. And now we've sent you a notice and we've told you that we are claiming our birthright political status as American state nationals. And guess what? Here we are. Now, they, on the other hand, have failed on many occasions to actually take the proper action to notify their departments. And, you know, when they do that, then we bring out our notification letter, our notices, say, oh, well, right here, back in 06, I noticed this, you know, entire chain of command, and it should be on your records. In some defense of them, they have been changing the guard, changing the name and the operating field of their corporations as they've gone through bankruptcy after bankruptcy after bankruptcy, and they keep offloading their debt onto the public. So, you know, one of the arguments that I encounter in international circles is, oh, but, you know, you noticed the USA Incorporated, you didn't notice the U.S.A. Incorporated, and you didn't notice the United States of America Incorporated, you noticed the United States of America Incorporated. And they play all these names and all these different identities that are very similar, but it's always the same principles. It's always the British King, it's always the Lord Mayor of London, it's always the Pope that are at the end of the line. And so what we did is we noticed the principles as well as the corporations as we went. So they don't have a leg to stand on in international court because we've been addressing the principles all along. And it doesn't matter what names the principles are operating under as long as the principles are being noticed. So
Exactly.
we've done our homework, we've done it in spades, and there's just no getting around what we've done. And
well, we're going to be working with the assembly to go through and try to identify those people and help them get their notices done properly. Anna, there's obviously a great confusion. And, you know, that means that all the other issues that we've had on our assembly, I mean, first of all, what we're finding is that's a situation happening on multiple assemblies across the country. It's not something unique to North Carolina. And we've chosen to make everything that we're facing public, Anna, in an effort to help you demonstrate for the rest of the states. You know, we're hoping that you'll use us as a demonstration. We're here for you to use us as a demonstration and a teaching tool for others to follow, because we do want to be able to, you know, all do a good job. And we're sure all the assemblies across the country, you know, they want to do a good job and get their courts up. Everybody wants to win. No one's intentionally, you know, joining up and trying to, I mean, maybe someone's infiltrating and creating a problem, but I find that most of the time that isn't really the case. Now, they might accidentally be behaving like that because their corporate mind just takes over. We've obviously seen that repeatedly where everybody just goes back to that same linear structure because they can't figure the circles out. You know, I mean, because the circles are a little bit chaotic. They're definitely terrifying, especially because we are saying self-governing means we're saying I'm the government and we have to stand up to somebody and say that. Go ahead, Antonia.
And I also like to add to that because you got to look at, we're coming from a system of being controlled our entire life. So when you're coming from a corporation and you're coming to be self-governed, it's kind of hard to make that transition because you have to unlearn to relearn, understand the laws of the land versus the corporate, which is the water jurisdiction. Like, so when you coming from there, you coming from a corporation of being a CEO of a company, then you come in to be a volunteer of an assembly. Sometimes that ego will come in as a CEO and it kind of like you don't be meaning to, but sometimes they're a clash. So me personally, coming back on the land, I had to unlearn to relearn and basically understand who I am and self-govern and lead, not as leading the people, but just step up as a living person to show people that, okay, well, this is what we have to do with self-govern. Yes, and I want to share with my state to let them know that we went through this storm and that the sun will shine again. And through all this, we will all come together and we will stand our assembly and we will all be one. And I want to encourage everybody that's going through it that we here, we love y'all, and we're looking to get our state back. Because without none of us, this state will be possible because we're from all different backgrounds. So I encourage everybody on North Carolina to hang in there because we're coming back.
Some follow-ups. There's some calls that we need to make to different sheriff's departments, the non-emergency numbers. So every little bit helps. So I just wanted to put that out there. And also, as far as we do have a time like on Monday nights. It's just about strategizing. It's how can we do this? How can we make these efforts better? How can we reach the people who are outside of these larger areas? Because everyone is going to these larger areas like Boone and Asheville, but there are a lot of little counties that are neglected. So we do meet. You can reach out. The email, I believe, is North Carolina Relief. But we'll put it in the chat before the night is out, and just reach out and say that you'll help us on Mondays at 7:30. It's not militia. It's not a committee. It's just minds coming together. How can we do this? How can we help the people of North Carolina who are just in desperate need of our help? So that I just wanted to put that out there. And also, let me see, I'm not sure if Ross is on the line. Ross, is he here? Okay, great. So Ross,
Geez, I don't know, Deb. Wait a minute.
do I hear Ross?
Hello.
Okay, there we go. Okay. So Ross, if you will just just give an update on what you did today, we greatly like to hear, and I'll try to get some pictures up.
Hey, Lavelle, before we do that, Tess, can you go ahead and do the Bevins decision?
Yes, no problem. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the Bivens decision. This meeting is private to members and those invited to attend. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner to eliminate all conflict and false allegations. Is there anyone in attendance at today's meeting that is a member or agent of any law enforcement agency or public agency at the federal, state, county, city, or township agencies present? Excuse me. Anyone who is here under false pretenses, anyone who is working for any foreign government, including territorial United States or municipal United States, and anyone who is being paid or coerced to be here must fully disclose their presence and purpose now or leave the premises. Anyone who is a U.S.C citizen without any intention to correct their lawful status states so now. If they subsequently show up as federal witnesses, they are discredited for failure to disclose. Are there any responses to the Bivens decision for the first time? Are there any responses to the Bivens decision for the second time? Are there any responses to the Bivens decision for the third time? Not hearing any responses, I would like to express that members do not share private email communications with non-members without express permission. And I yield.
Okay, Lavelle, you can continue.
Ross, you can go ahead. I'll just make an effort to put these pictures up.
Okay, let me speak for just a minute first. I did have a great day today. Over the weekend, Dan showed up with a load of supplies and things for the effort in Western North Carolina. Yesterday, I sorted some things out. We washed some sleeping bags and like I said, got started sorting things out. This morning, I loaded up some stuff onto the truck and headed out to see what I could see. I have been going into the northern part up in Mitchell County and west of Watauga County and up in the higher country, but Bill Perkins had told me about a situation in a little town down on the interstate called Old Fort. Old Fort is about halfway between where I live and Asheville. Old Fort is a very small town. I think the population before the hurricane was something like 613. They were just about wiped off the map, but they are a small population center, and they do not catch the attention of any of the large relief efforts. Samaritan's Purse, the Baptist Mission, the American Red Cross have not been there yet. Made it just the sort of place that I wanted to go see. Bill Perkins had told me about a lady that lives and works there. She and her husband have a farm, and he is a computer engineer, and she has a grocery store and coffee shop in town. They stay pretty busy. The day after the hurricane came through, they mobilized. They were putting barbecue grills out on the front porch and on the sidewalk, and they started feeding people, and they started just without being told to go, they just started going, and they really stepped up and have done miracles for their community. Lavelle, if you'll show that first slide, a little video. Like a lot of towns over here, Old Fort is on a stream. It's got a railroad track that runs through it, and the railroad track follows the creek bed. I don't see it on my screen. And the little creek that runs through town got carried away with itself and took out the town. It's the one bottom center. This is just a little 10, 15-second video clip of that what I saw just actually driving right through the heart of town. This is what you would expect to see. You see the little bridge, the little stream, and all the real estate on both sides of it is gone. You can see cement slabs where buildings used to be, but they're gone. Trees are gone. Everything is just piled up in a big pile next to the road. But that's not all there is to Old Fort. That's the part that's down by the creek. The second slide that I would have you see is the one that I see in my lower left-hand corner. It's the old railroad station there. It's a very historic area. There have been railroad trains running through there for probably 160 years. And it's a neat little town, although it's kind of off the path and very small. In this neat little town, there is in the upper right-hand corner, if you can see that, a little stone building with a white porch around it. That is the cafe. To the left of it is the country store, and this is where the owner of this store, a lady named Amy Davis, set up shop, set up, just volunteered to set up and feed everybody in the community, residents and volunteers and anybody that really needed something to eat, they were welcome. There's a sign there that shows the name of the store. It's the Davis Country Store. And when I first went in there, she wasn't there, and I talked to the people in town that were in there, and everybody's got a very cool attitude about it. Well, yeah, everything got washed away, but we're okay. And it seems these are some really strong people. Um, they can face some of the worst adversity I think any of us could ever imagine. And they'll just tell you, we're okay. Half of the town is washed away, 4 people are dead, but we're okay. Hard to believe. So as Amy Davis finally arrived and I had the opportunity to have a nice long conversation with her, she started telling me what she is doing. She and her husband have donated 10 acres of land that they want to use to set up a little village, if you will, of tiny houses. These tiny houses are mobile. They cost almost $15,000 a piece. They come equipped with a composting toilet and electrical generator. If any of y'all are familiar with camping cabins, it's a sort of thing that reminds me of camping cabins that we had like 25, 30 years ago. It is her plan to populate this 10 acres with them for the people in her area who need shelter while the house is being rebuilt over the winter. These little cabins are built off-site and brought in on the back of a truck and set out on level ground and are pretty much ready to go as soon as they're put on the ground. Like I said, they cost about $15,000 each. And if you go to their website, the website is on Facebook. I have it written down here and I looked at it. I think it's just the Davis Country Store and Cafe. But you can see pictures of what they're doing and an announcement at the very top of that that says that they put their first little camping cabins on order today. Besides that, and besides feeding everybody, and besides having a GoFundMe to collect funds to support the basically reconstructing of their little town, they have these what it looked to me to be shipping crates. She calls them pods, and they are shipping crates or pods that people can use to store their belongings from their house that may be condemned due to structural problems. It may be flooded and need mold remediation or anything like that. So the lady's got a lot of irons in the fire, and she's pretty much doing it on her own. I was very happy to leave her with a $500 donation. The reason I bring all of this to this meeting, number one, is to kind of have everybody, realize there really are some good people out there. Here's a picture of Amy. And these people are very strong and they're very determined and they're going to survive. They don't have any choice in the matter. They're going to survive. And they're going to do it with or without help from the outside. There have been conversations, ideas, propositions that we might adopt a family or a town and kind of focus on that location and focus our efforts there. I think it's good. I think we should have several towns. And I feel like this would be worthy, a lady worthy of helping. Look at that old building. During the Second World War, they built houses like that because they didn't have building supplies. But if we could open a conversation, get the Assembly of the Whole's opinion about how we might go about supporting this lady or not. And I would be available to answer questions after this very brief. Oh, look, that's a great picture that I'm seeing. So I'd like to open to questions. If anybody has a question, and I'm sure I'll think of other things that I should have said. I can't see hands up.
This is Roseanne, I have a question.
Please.
Did you say there was a GoFundMe available that she started?
She does have, yeah, she does have a GoFundMe. And let's see, I just got home about 16 minutes before this meeting started, so I too am scrambling a little bit.
How would we go about finding that?
I promise you I will. The oldfortfund.com is her GoFundMe. Old Fort Fund, FUND.com is their GoFundMe. As I said, her husband is like a website designer, and he's putting together a website. So they have a pretty good page on Facebook that I have seen all of one time, and it would be oh, I don't know.
So you know, Ross, we went ahead and posted it in the chat. Anybody wants access to the GoFundMe account that he just explained, it's over there in the chat now.
That were you able to run the little video? Because it is as you would expect. The middle part of town has been flattened. I heard somebody say while I was in there that they were looking for ways to get rid of some of this stuff. What they're talking about is all of the physical supplies that are in their storage area. And this is a thing we're encountering all over the place. I think it was Burnsville, the Baptist church in Burnsville was asking people to please come and take this away. They don't have the personnel to segregate and catalog it. They don't have people to give it to, and they need help with it. They need somebody to come help them gather it up, and they recommended you give it to Goodwill Industry or something like that. So we're past the initial phase of needing food, water, and dry clothing. The outpour of assistance in the area has been overwhelming. It's over the top. It is done. Everybody's done a great job. The rebuilding roads and bridges is very active and ongoing right now. That's why I was almost late. I got caught behind a little road construction, but I did make it here on time. And this lady, however, is taking it to the next level. She is out of focus. She has got a plan. She wants to do a lot of the things that we've been talking about doing in the way of after these. Is that me? No.
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
Hey, boss. I recommend that you shut off your video and your bandwidth will perform a whole lot better. I yield.
Shut off my video. Okay. I just did. Thanks, Janelle. I have notoriously bad internet service, but I do have a what do you call it? Starlink and downstairs if I ever get a chance to set it up. So, questions, please.
May I?
Yes, sir.
Do you happen to know how many towns are still not accessible that are stranded? Maybe get by through horseback or by foot. Do you happen to know off the top of your head if there's any towns that are still like just stranded, have absolutely no help? I yield.
Uh, Thank you. It's a real good question. No, to answer your question specifically, I am not aware of any specific town that is still without access. There are little pockets back up in the hills where people, really wanted to get away from it all and built their own little bit of heaven back up in a cove that had a creek running down and away from it, and their little road might have crossed that creek 2 or 3 times. And a lot of those have the county has stepped in to help those. The upper counties, Mitchell, Avery, the places up further north, Madison, and but I haven't heard much in the way of problems along those lines. Not at this time. Thank you, though. Good question. So I spoke while I was there with Jessica, a lady that's with the Small Business Association that they have, and with Jennifer, who works with Amy Davis, and then with Amy Davis herself. There was a fellow there named Mason Black or something. And I never did figure out what he was doing, but they were having a pretty intense conversation about that too. So it's the little cafe. I don't know if there is a mayor in that town, but if there is, I think Amy's probably 3 car lengths ahead of him in this race. And this just struck me as some really good people. And like I said, we could help them because nobody else is. The GoFundMe's working. So what do you guys think? Do we cast a broader net? Do we try to touch more bases? Or do we kind of like cover them one base at a time and then move forward? Any ideas?
May I?
Well, I don't know that I've done justice. Certainly.
First of all, I want to thank you for all your time and hard work. It's been absolutely wonderful speaking with you, collaborating with you, even down to our little kerbuckle of, the storage bays and where the stuff was going when I was an hour and a half away from delivering it. You've sort of, I said, no big deal, we'll figure it out. But no, honestly, I have no issues with any of it. If anybody else wants to chime in, I mean, them as opposed to anybody else, they're all still living people, and that's what we're here to protect. And if they're not getting help from the big, organizations, then that's exactly what I believe that we're aiming for. So I think that's a great suggestion, Ross. Again, thank you for your time. I yield.
Okay, so if that's all, we will yield to I'm sorry, Rohit.
Good evening, members of the committee and the assembly. Currently, we're operating as a committee of the whole. This allows us time to wash out the negative energy and restore a positive path forward. This means that North Carolinians who choose to rebuke evil can step up and change the energy in our assembly. Our mission is to grow and develop an assembly based in correct action with knowledge of the truth and in alignment with natural law and law of the land jurisdiction. The law on the land does not address thought crimes. This means that there is no feelings involved, no victim, no crime. Hurt feelings do not constitute a victim. Lay a hand on anyone, and now you have a victim. While we do not promote emotional and mental abuse, these are not crimes because everyone has a voice and they can use it. More than a quarter of our assembly has been hung on a cross for everyone to drive stakes into, but they are just words, not actual stakes. But if given a chance to vote to hang, these people would have long since hung many men and women without a shred of evidence. Followers of lies and immorality make for dangerous jurors in our courts. Are you okay with murdering an innocent man or woman because of a weak mindset that doesn't allow you to go to the people you accuse? The punishment for the immoral action will yield greater suffering for those who live to witness it. Following God's law, natural law requires comprehension of truth versus lies. Discernment matters, and following others' guidance will lead you down an incorrect path. This is a powerful spiritual war. Our state cannot be seated with ignorant people, ignorance of the actual truth. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Used to be a saying on the land. But the corporatocracy has retrained everyone into a much weaker vibration and mindset. We must not look back and continue to feed the negative energy and crimes of the past. We must use this opportunity to move forward. We cannot look backwards. Our feet face forward. Looking back, even for a moment, holds us in the suffering of the past. Our coordinator group will not support this incorrect action. Morality is aligned with the truth, and immorality is aligned with lies. It is nature's way of saying, try again. Every time someone makes a mistake, and then we all have a chance to walk towards the truth. The universal law of attraction will take care of that. It's not our work to judge anyone. Corporate, linear, competitive structure versus natural, holistic structure is the main difference between how we're being coordinated before and how we intend to move forward as a coordinating group. The main point being, we will not address the crimes of the past or take the abuse from the people whose feelings were hurt from those wrong actions. We will create a positive path forward, and those who wish to join us are welcome. Those who wish to stew in the negative vibrations will be left behind. Our work is bigger than this. There's great love here for you, but we must keep our momentum positively moving forward. I yield to Antonio.
Good evening, everyone. I'm reaching out to everybody today just to let everybody know what we're going to focus on is that we want to make sure that everybody that's declared already with the assembly have sent out their Secretary of State notices. The reason why this is so very important is because if you haven't declared and sent your notices out to the Secretary of State, then you are not declared as an American State National. And that's one very thing that's very important as we begin to move forward with establishing a great foundation. A lot of us have did our paperwork, and a lot of us haven't sent out paperwork to the Secretary of State. So we just want to make sure that anybody that's having problems with that type of process and paperwork, that you can reach out to me in an email, and that way we can help y'all to do your paperwork the right way and get it sent out to Elaine. That way we know that everyone is taken care of. So when we begin to go out on the field and bring more American State Nationals home, we'll have all that process together for everyone. That way we will all stand together as one. And with that, I yield. And I'm gonna put my email to the chat. So if anybody have any issues, just reach out to me direct in the email, and I'll respond accordingly to your situation as far as the notices to the Secretary of State. With that, I yield.
I think Ross had his hand up. Ross, did you have something you wanted to say? Thought I saw him waving.
I was just curious as what this had to do with the disaster over here in Western North Carolina, that it was my understanding was the focus of this meeting. I'll yield.
May I?
Right, Dan.
Just to answer that, of course, I've been one that's brought this up many times in our coordinator meetings or whenever, excuse me, not meetings, but in conversation with a bunch of you coordinators. Ross, there is obviously a disaster in Western North Carolina, but just as much to that, I consider the disaster of how many people are a part of this assembly that is not armed with that knowledge and think that they're papered up and they're not they're not protected properly. So just on the concept of disaster relief, I find that to be a huge disaster. That's just the way I see it. I yield.
May I?
Yes, go ahead, Janelle.
Thank you. What I see a benefit of that, or what he talked about, is that we have to have provenance if we're going to be dealing with the state and the sheriffs and all that stuff. It'd be good if the sheriff sees that we've noticed the Secretary of State and we got all our paperwork together, and so we can get us, our work done. Are you?
Thank you. That's right. Just staying positive. Gwen?
So I have two things. First of all, I thought the coordinator's job was to be the go-between between the assembly and the federation, not to tell us how to think, feel, and act and move. And second of all, who is telling you all that, or where is it coming from that if you don't send your notices properly, that you're my mute's not on. So why then who's telling you all that if you're not properly papered up or whatever, you don't send your notices, that you're not an American State National? Where is that coming from?
May I?
Yes.
We just went over that, I believe, Saturday ago with Anna. It was on one of Neethi's podcasts. It definitely came directly from Anna. She was highly concerned that people did not have that information. I yield.
So I
would second that.
So I heard that on the podcast, but that is not. So it is not a requirement, although it is a good idea.
So I'm going to object to that right now, Gwen.
It's not a requirement.
Before you put in misinformation, I'm going to object.
No, you let me talk and I'll tell you.
Hey, wait
it's not a requirement.
Okay, listen.
Somebody shut Anthony up.
Anna has given us guidance.
All right, let Gwen finish. She had the floor. Let Gwen.
So can I continue to speak, or is it just everybody else gets to have their voice heard, but not me?
Please speak. I second you. Thank you.
Okay, so in order to be, and I've heard Anthony say, I've heard Dan say, and I've now heard Antonio say, if you don't properly notice the Secretary of State or send your notices out, you are not considered a declared American State National. And that is not true. In order to be a declared American State National, you have to have your 1779, your 2 witness statements, and you have to be published. That's it. So is it a good idea to send your notices? Yes. But if you choose not to send your notices, that does not make you an undeclared American State National. And so you guys are giving misinformation. And I listened to the podcast, and Anna she did kind of say she didn't really listen to the question. She did kind of say, so I think that you guys should ask her that directly instead of skirting around it. Ask her directly and then bring that back to us is what I'm requesting, and I yield.
And may I have a comment on that?
Yes,
I think
we're wrapping it up, everybody. So go ahead, Jim.
the way I see it is I think she wants to make sure that the assembly is all papered up responsibly. So I think she was kind of focusing more for us who are doing the assembly work, who are going to be involved. Otherwise, a 3-pager makes you a state national, right? You.
Okay, and so before we close out, I'll just say, everybody, you decide, do you want to notice the Secretary of State or don't you? You're sovereign. You can do whatever you want. If you don't want to do it, you heard Gwen, you don't have to. Okay, so it's your choice. We're not here to argue about it. You make your own decision, and we are just advising that you do. So with that, everyone have a great night. Have we missed?
May I get in here?
Yes, please, David. We can't hear you.
Because Needy keeps muting me. I got a question. I want to know who is sending the information out for the meetings. because I'm not getting them anymore. My wife's not getting them anymore. Are you not supposed to send them out to all state nationals? And if so, who's doing the blocking of sending these emails out to tell us about, inform us about the Zoom meetings, and then we don't, certain one of us are not getting them. Muty, I'm telling Needy, I'm tired of her muting me. I got questions I had
I'm not pressing any buttons over here, just for you to know that, David.
Yes,
You're the one that's muting me.
No, she doesn't have the controls. So
who is muting me? So if somebody's muting me, stand up and be a man or a woman and tell me who you are. Because this is ridiculous. Every time I turn around, I get muted. Who sends out the emails for the Zoom meetings? Who sends that out? Who's responsible for that? And why am I not on the list anymore? I'm an American state national. I've done all my stuff and it's recorded. I don't have the right to be muted. I have free speech. And when I ask a question, I expect an answer, and I don't get them either.
I'm trying to give you an answer. I'm giving
Well,
you
give me an answer.
I will specifically get your name and email and make sure that you're getting them. We are not blocking anyone. I have actually talked with people who have not gotten them. It's not anything, it's not like you're being singled out. So sometimes things happen with technology. So
No, I don't buy that.
Hey, David, I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and speak on the technical aspect.
Anthony, I don't even want to talk to you, Anthony. Get off this right now.
Excuse you. Refrain from your language and how you're talking to me. And
I'm not talking to anybody. I haven't sworn or anything. And
please mute David for a second so I can actually.
I don't want to be interrupted. Let me finish, Anthony.
Wow.
You're good at doing this. Get off.
We want to be respectful.
Well, I'm trying to be respectful. All I want is, I'd like to know who's sending out the emails.
It goes out randomly. We have multiple coordinators, not just one person. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll
Now,
make sure that you get your link out.
then how come when this transition took over, all of a sudden I didn't get any more emails about the meetings?
It wasn't anything,
intentional?
Lavelle, may I answer that question?
No, Anthony, you stay off this for now.
I know the technical aspects about this. That's why
I don't care. I don't like you. I'm going to be honest. I don't
care if you like me or not. I'm going to give you an answer because that's what you're asking for.
Okay, this is enough, David. You
mute it again.
You can't take the entire. We have other hands up.
Right.
Take 15 minutes. Miss Mary Van Gorp, do you have a question? Oh, Derek, go ahead, Derek.
Can I finish or no?
You can't take up the whole time. You're hoarding up the time.
I'm not. I give you 2 minutes. You give me 2 minutes, and I've been muted five times, man.
Derek, I'll answer the question for everybody, but before I do, go ahead and speak, please.
And I do just want to give clarification. I am across state lines right now receiving quite a bit of technological difficulties. I can definitely tell you that the people that I work with are having the same issues. I've also been missed on a few emails. However, I have reached out to make sure that I can get the emails and let the other coordinators know and or other people of the assembly to make sure that I can get on the calls. I haven't just waited for the emails, but I can definitely tell you a lot of this since the storms have come through have been a lot of technological difficulties with these cell phone towers. And I've witnessed it from AT&T to T-Mobile to Verizon to any other provider. I work with all of them right now, and it is a big issue. It is not anyone in particular doing anything to withhold information or send information out to any specific people at all. But firsthand, I can tell you since the devastations, it has completely crippled while they are working on the cell phone towers. I have been in that industry before. They do a lot of working and maintenance on those towers. So whenever you catch a glitch in the system, it's generally the workers up tower unplugging and redirecting the antennas and the signals. So I can speak for everyone. If you're not receiving an email or if you're not, such as these muting situations, a lot of our technology, I have experience being user area, not pointing fingers. I've done user error myself, and I found that hitting the mute button and hitting the cameras and all this stuff is a lot of me, and I've figured it out through trial and error without passing blame, because I definitely stepped on a few landmines before, and I found that it to be my fault. However, if you're not having user errors, a lot of this is just technology. Technology is completely corrupt right now, so we can't rely on it, and it's actual credit. It has no credit right now. So to speak on that, and the last thing that I wanted to say is for the relief efforts, a lot of our uh, issues that we need to get to for the people are brand new coats, money, uh, 8,000 running watt generators with 220-volt hookups. Uh, they're using chemical sprayers. They could use those. They're spray painting them black to be able to use the showers so that they can sit in the sun and heat up. For those that can't get these supplies, that's what they're using, and they're asking for them. I have reached out to Burnsville, North Carolina to get this information, and again, this is where I get all my information about. They vet the people that they receive donations from and give donations to. So always be wary that they are vetting their people, and to make sure you establish a good communication when reaching out to anyone that you want to help in those areas. And with that, I yield.
All right. Okay, but let me go ahead and hash this out with everybody. We're currently using a commercial mail distribution system. That system tells us who gets it, who opens it, where it's going, whether it's not been received or not. So we know who's getting it and who's not getting it and who's not opening it. Because it's a mass mail system, you need to check your spam folders and your junk mail folders. We have also noticed some technical difficulties since the emergency has happened with the hurricanes. I'm guessing the system is either sometimes sending it a day late. It's happened because I've received things the next day instead of the day of. We are also going to be coordinating what prior systems were being used to see if that can help move things along. So I do want to emphasize nobody is blocked. No one is blocked. So people stop saying you're blocked. You're not. We can see who's getting it and who's not getting it. We want everybody here. So let's stop all the fussing and all the frustration, and let's just all work together and move forward and just stay focused on the mission and be at a committee at a whole. And then once we get through that, we can move forward from all that as well. You know, let's just make sure we understand that things are moving a day at a time. Like, not everything's perfect and no one is blocked. We want everybody here. I don't care if 500 members show up out of nowhere. By all means, show up, but please check your spam folders, your junk mail, and also be mindful that technically sometimes the system may send it out a day late, and I apologize for that. Reach out to anybody you know who might have the link, and we'll be glad to send it through text message to them or by general email. So I apologize. And currently I'm seeing some emails from Cynthia, so let me respond to that. I yield.
One of y'all want to close us out?
May I?
Go ahead,
Yes.
Yeah, this is about, disaster relief and all of that. So last week we talked about possibly setting up a skill set list that I've suggested that I've already created for North Carolina about 6 months ago. If you wanted me to, I could also create a bulletin board for people to just put their needs up. We could possibly control that if we had to and make sure things get done. These things would be somewhat public, so anybody can sign up. Public being American state nationals, of course, signing up and offering their skills, equipment if they want to, their telephone number, all by their choice if they want to. And again, that's all, pretty much all set up. It was already set up, like I said, way back when. And I'd like to know if I can help North Carolina, because next week I'm meeting with Global Family Group to see what else I can do for them. I've gained a lot of skill in my website creation skills. Basically, I develop tools for them to use to work. So basically, I'm helping them increase how they receive and accept people's paperwork. And I've increased their speed, I dare say, at least 5 times faster than before. So I want to know what to do with them. My heart is with North Carolina. I'd rather do whatever I can do to help North Carolina. It would take me a week to set this up. And we could have a list of skill set and a bulletin board if you wanted to. I yield.
May I?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. I will get with Lavelle tomorrow sometime on the day and reach out with some other people, and we'll get out with you and discuss some of the things you just talked about. We appreciate you reaching out, and I'll try my best to get with you tomorrow. On that note, I motion to close. Anybody else to adjourn?
I second.
Good night.
Good night. That's it.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Peace.
What kind of, like how do the states handle these situations? We are just trying to gain experience, and we're leaning on you for your wisdom from, operating on a global scale. So who's got something for her first? Is it Lavelle or Dan?
I'll speak up. The biggest question I have is, from being such a great platform that you have and getting people involved, we've got a lot of good volunteers, but the biggest problem I see us facing, including everybody else in Western Carolina, is getting more people involved. I guess that's my biggest issue. Is, do you have any suggestions on what we do to just raise people's vibrations into helping this, wanting to help and love each other instead of just possibly donate goods? Because we're getting a lot of feedback. They have plenty of goods, food. What they're missing is hands on deck. They're missing labor.
We have people who have helicopters. They're looking to land, don't necessarily know where to land. And so the challenge is, everybody knows about the big areas like Asheville and Boone, but it's the surrounding areas that are neglected. And so we're coming to find that we need ways to get in touch or get connected with those who are and not in the bigger towns. So we're seeing that is an area of challenge for us in North Carolina.
Are we thinking big enough, Anna? Because we were saying that if we can help the small business owners get on their feet, we can help the economy there. So we are asking you for guidance in this regard.
So again, we just don't have enough volunteers. He's trying to be burning the candle at both ends, so to speak.
Yeah, and we're calling all living men and women. This isn't about just, you're a declared American. This is not about that. This is, you're alive and you're on the mountain. We need everybody who's interested. And so I think that, focusing on some of the small business owners, Anna, we thought that was the only idea that we had, that we felt like they're going to know the people locally. So anyone who has labor to offer, that's the number one thing that, we could use. And on the back end of that, I think that it's important for us, Dan, for all of us to talk with the assembly and just say, okay, let's get organized based on projects, because that would be the most efficient way for us to connect the people with the project. And then they can just, coordinate, because they need to obviously make it work for everybody's schedules. So I think that's, if they know that they can volunteer on a Tuesday, whatever the date is, they can plan accordingly.
Is there anyone serving as a point person that people who are interested in donating or working or doing something, getting involved, is there a phone number and a face, a name that they can call?
Yeah, on the link tree, we have everybody's taking different positions, like the like Lavelle and Dan are taking all the items, and then Rohit and Anthony are taking are helping to coordinate labor. And when they click their links and their emails come up, if they want phone numbers, we can add that to the link tree. That's not a problem.
Well, what I would like, and what I'm sure a lot of people would like, is just a phone number.
Oh, sure.
A lot of people don't have Wi-Fi. A lot of people don't have email anymore.
We actually want to start a membership drive, Anna. So North Carolina Assembly just generally should have been doing this already, and we weren't. So this is something that we want to do, but we're dealing with the disaster amidst all of the everything. Right. There's just a whole everything, of course, it's not like one thing, right? You know how it goes, Anna. It's not going to be like one thing at a time. It's going to be everything avalanching all at the same time.
Well, I was just wondering, as far as the campaign, did Anna kind of sound like that was a good idea, or so we can kind of start brainstorming on that?
Yeah, I think so. I'm wanting to know, Dan, when we talk to Ross, also, we should find out, like, do they need help with people who are interested in relocating for the season?
And also, Henderson County, we have a representative there, but a lot, like I say, it's only one person, so other people are needed to help, help there to, distribute or to, make calls or this or that, because if everything just loads in one person, that's where we have to say, hey, what are you doing? We're asking, what are you doing? Are you at least making one phone call, or, leading up one project, or giving a call? And a lot of times we are reaching out to men and women, and they're reaching out to us. And sometimes, we try to stay positive, and we can only do what we can do. So, sometimes you may hear people complain, we're not doing this or we're not doing that. However, we've been doing this for like 2 weeks. So, we're doing the very best we can. So for the ones that you hear that, they may be in a situation and they may be, disgruntled. However, we're just putting out there that we're not trying to ignore people. We have reached out, and a lot of times we reach out to the people who are complaining. They may have said that they don't need any more help, but if there are people that need help, just for everyone to know that we're doing our very best to do what we can. But if we can't do anything, we can't do anything, but we're trying.
It's like Anna was saying, that you normally recruit the people that are in the area. And I mean, that's how it was for us.
But
that's like our governor here on North Carolina, Anna. You've been dealing with Cooper, or you've seen how he is.
More worthless piece of shit I've never met.
Yeah. So, but he knows we're here. We notice him. Okay, Anna, we notice him, and he knows it, and they don't like it, but they know they have to honor us. They know that. Right. They know they can't harm us.
Right.
We want to help do that too. We want everyone to communicate that with all of us. If that's what you need is an evacuation assistance, then let us know. And the numbers are down here, and I know we just have Dan up here right now, but that's a good starting point, and it would work. And we can help Dan to field calls.
On financial concepts, we are getting money in, and we do have a circumstantial amount that we haven't spent on, about $1,600, I believe, at the moment right now. And do we look at putting that all in one chunk, back to the local hardware store, back to a local construction person, maybe put it towards any home or house or family and go that direction? Or do you think it's best to spread it out?
Well, as long as it's relatively small amounts like that, I would kind of keep that as just a working fund for now. And if you need something, like someone needs a tank of gas, or somebody needs smaller things, then we have a little bit of cash there. My focus has been to get the prosperity unions up and working. so that you can actually access and be able to use your AFD apportionments.